Reaction to the big French TV debate between its presidential pretenders on Monday night has been mixed, with some saying the centrist Emmanuel Macron won, while others say firebrand left-winger Jean-Luc Melanchon stole the show. What of the established parties? The governing Socialists Benoit Hamon staked out clearly defined territory, and the main opposition Les Republicains Francois Fillon was restrained and possibly hampered by his ongoing fake jobs scandal, while the Front National's Marine Le Pen said plenty to delight her supporters, but offered little new for more mainstream voters. Mélenchon was cutting about his rival's implication in corruption. I have to admire your brass neck when you say the campaign's been polluted by the corruption scandals some of us are implicated in. Well, I'm sorry, but not me, and I think I should remind the audience this concerns just two of us up here. Mr. Fillon and Madame Le Pen, and the three others have nothing to do with that. With Le Pen, he was scathing. You can't establish a clothes police in the streets. Where do you think you're going with this? Are you going to stop people from having green hair or wearing their skirts too short or too long? A limit on illegals, you say, but what does that mean? How do you count them? You can always dream up quotas, tickets, or any measure you like, but some will always get through. So what do you do then? Throw them into the sea? Macron agreed with everyone while insisting he had a different take on everything, except we still don't know what that is. I know you support the idea, but a few years ago there were no bikinis on our beaches, Mr. Macron, said Le Pen. No, please, play nice, Mrs. Le Pen, he replied. I'm not putting words into your mouth, and I don't need a ventriloquist. I can assure you everything's fine and clear for me, and when I have something to say, I'll say it clearly, as I always do. Macron may be a case study in style over substance, and that's seen as a weakness by some. You know, Mr. Macron, you have quite a gift. You've now been speaking for 7 minutes, and I'm unable to sum up what you've said because you haven't said anything. It's like an astral vacuum. In the current noisy French political climate, it is, however, significant what candidates don't say. Although where Le Pen's concerned, even the slumbering Fillon stirred himself. The real serial killer of French purchasing power would be Madame Le Pen with her quitting the euro and the restoration of the franc. Mr. Fillon, you're peddling a project fear, the same tactic that was used before the Brexit and before the election of Donald Trump. Hamon did score some telling blows about how his rivals were financed. Macron claimed the average sum donated by supporters of his movement was €50. Macron wasn't convinced. Can you promise the French people here tonight that among your wealthy backers who financed you and your campaign, that there are not several notable representatives from the pharmaceutical, oil and chemical and banking industries? I'm only asking, that's all. Can you supply an answer? This is potentially the most open and unpredictable French presidential election in 3 decades, with the real possibility an outsider may win. But an outsider will struggle to rally parliamentary support in the legislative elections that follow in June.